What's up, Alberto here, and this is the AJC, your one-stop shop for all your Juventus content, and I got the latest news on everything. First two signings coming out from Nico Schira. Modric to Juventus, a shakeup in the attack, what the rumors are listing we could see at Juventus, and then the latest on the Conte to Juventus rumors, all right? All that, much more, all right? So let's get into it. First up, Nico Schira brought us several reports, and the first one that kind of flew under the radar, but something interesting to look at. Claudio Chiellini could be leaving the next-gen setup. Now, he doesn't state what the future holds for Claudio Chiellini, whether or not it is still at Juventus, but Nico Schira just says that he could be leaving the fold at Next Gen, so one to follow. Then he gives us the names of the first two signings for Juventus. Calafiori, the first, Di Gregorio, the second. Maybe in the other order, but one way or another, he's saying these are the two deals they are currently, as we speak, working on finalizing. Now, we all know that we need work in the midfield, and I have plenty of news on the midfield coming up here. But does this mean that Giuntoli is going to be looking at kind of closing and sealing the gaps around that and then focusing and working on the midfield after at that point? Maybe, just maybe. But of course, time will tell. Let's see. But Calafiori and Di Gregorio tip from Schira to be those first two signings for Juventus. Okay, now getting into that midfield that we were talking about. Rabiot, who we know is going to be dragging this out, waiting until almost the bitter end, probably to find out what's happening with Massimiliano Allegri and if in fact one of his former teammates, Thiago Motta, is the guy coming in. But who is at the coaching position will probably affect the nature of Rabiot's decision, as well as other factors, clubs interested in him, salary, etc. And we do continue to hear that Bayern Munich is interested in Rabiot. For me, you know where I stand. I think we should just part ways mutually and we should be looking at other alternatives, all right? But I do see and hear that Juve is interested in re-signing Adrien Rabiot. So let's see what happens. In terms of the midfield with other players, well, Luka Modric name finally comes up linked with Juventus. You knew it was coming, and now it is there. The 38-year-old leaving Real Madrid on an expiring contract. He could be an option for Juventus. So we posed a question on Twitter. Would you bring in Luka Modric on a free at the age of 38 years old to Juventus? 55% say yes. All right. And for me, it's this. I'm open to it depending on the circumstances, all right? Terms, salary, role given within the team and everything. But I am open to Luka Modric just because even if he was, say, a rotational piece that could come in at 30 minutes for 45 minutes, etc., you're getting high quality ball still from this guy. And he's shown that even this season in his appearances and whatnot. But again, the factor is the salary and everything would have to be that makes sense for that role. Bringing him in as the guy at 38 years old, I don't think is the right play for Juventus. However, a very serious option that we can rotate in. Fantastic, all right? So let's see what happens there, but I am open to it depending on the circumstances. You guys know the drill. Hit me in the comments with what you think. Armand Loriente of Sassuolo, he is also a potential option for Juventus. Obviously, Sassuolo battling relegation, and if they get relegated, Juventus could be moving in for the player. All right, now we get to the attack, and a shakeup in the attack could be coming up, and Albanese claims that Zirkzee is still Giuntoli's dream signing, and he's looking at moving into a 4-2-3-1, keeping Vlahovic around, playing Zirkzee just behind Vlahovic. Well, of course, these calls would be up to the manager, up to the coach that is coming in. But essentially, we keep hearing about a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. Now, Zirkzee is being used as this puzzle piece, saying that the next coach that comes in, 4-2-3-1, will be using Zirkzee there. But the other factor here is that Arsenal apparently is very interested in Vlahovic. They are rumored to be coming in with an offer this summer. So the play could be Vlahovic on a sale if it means Zirkzee would be coming in. So we had to ask that poll question as well on Twitter, and 91%, when asked, Would you sacrifice Dusan Vlahovic if it meant Xerxes coming in? 91% said no. They would keep Dusan Vlahovic around. And if you're asking me, I am in that 91%. Yes. I have seen a lot out of Dusan Vlahovic in this very, very trying season, more than probably any other guy on this squad. I am not ready to pull the plug on Dusan Vlahovic, and I would keep him around, especially if we were making a coaching change and making a change in approach and style of play. I am going to say no. I would keep Dusan Vlahovic around. All right, you guys know the drill. Hit me in the comments with what you think. In terms of the rest, in terms of attack, Chiesa, it stands as the same, waiting for the renewal. But regardless of what happens there, the mercado and the interest and the market value will be apparently tested according to Giovanni Albanese. And when it comes to other attackers, Milik and Keane on their way out the door, according to him. All signs point to them leaving. Then it gets to the alternatives. Alvaro Morata continuously linked with Juventus. And then you get Mason Greenwood. Well, everything is saying that Mason Greenwood, when it comes to Manchester United, they're willing to move him. But we get a variance in values. Mirko Di Natale says that it's 50 million euros Manchester United is looking for. And he says the interest in Greenwood from Juventus is concrete. We're also hearing 30 million euros as the valuation. So we don't actually know. But the one thing here is that his contract expires in 2025. This could give Giuntoli the leverage to sign the player at a very, very sustainable piece of business for Juventus. Now, when it comes to Mason Greenwood, everyone is aware of the situation that was around him with the allegations, etc. And then, of course, the dropped charges. Now, when you ask me for it, I've been very adamant and standing firm on my stance with this player, and I still am there. I very much believe in innocent until proven guilty, all right? However, where Juventus is, where we are as a club, and should, because this is very common in scenarios of this with extremely serious charges, allegations. If something were to creep up later on down the line, going back into this, we just don't need it. We just don't need it. And if that were to happen with everything this club has been through over the past trying 4 seasons and whatnot, it just doesn't make sense to take that risk. So for me, it is just a no. But you guys know the drill. Hit me in the comments if you have now changed your mind and you're open to it, or if you still stand firm to look elsewhere, and let me know. Let's mix it up, all right? But the final piece of news is on Antonio Conte, all right? We all know we're hearing certain names linked with the coaching role at Juventus. We're hearing a lot. There's a lot of smoke, all right, that Allegri is heading out. Well, Conte, one of the guys come in. Zazzaroni today on Radio Bianconera says, never say never in football, but there is not much hope when it comes to Antonio Conte coming to Juventus. Hey, time will tell. Let's see what happens. That wraps up your news break to today. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the content, but let me know in the comments what you think about all the news today, and I'll be back tomorrow with the next edition. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.